Hey, what's good, everybody? Excuse the noise in the background. Actually, you know what? I feel called to do a collective spiritual reading, right? A little more. I think, I was doing the, like the air sign, fire signs. I tried to do the water signs and the camera literally just turned off. So I was like, all right, nothing for the water signs. But that happened the other day with the fire sign. So I think this is just gonna be a collective, something on the more spiritual side, because I feel like that's what they're trying to communicate with me. So here we go. This is a collective reading. What do you want to tell the collective right now? What do you feel like you want to tell the collective right now? Just some sort of message. If you want to say anything to the collective. I'm using the Sacred Forest Oracle. You know, when I started using this deck, it's pretty interesting, right? Like, I got all these weird kind of downloads of things I had never seen before. So, Standing Stones Passage. Alright, let me read what this means, because I'm not familiar with this one. Standing Stones Passage. Card number 40. As you walk, you come across large vertical stones standing in a circle in the center of the sacred forest. You know that to step inside this sacred ring is not to be undertaken lightly. It is an act of power. With solemn grace you enter. Immediately you feel a shift occur within you. It's as if the floodgates of your soul have opened, and there is a download of cosmic information occurring within you. Wow. So, I mean, there's a lot more, but I like it. It's like beginning the journey, right? So many of you are starting this. Maybe you're barely having your spiritual awakening, or something has opened, right? Like I shared it, because I have my, like, a podcast channel, and then I make videos about other things. I shared about how in 2023 I had this crazy vision that something, right? Like, I was awarded something in the spirit world, and because of that, this access was granted to different things, right? And so this card reminds me of that, right? I mean, it's like a whole other dimension kind of thing. So I really like that card, right? Let me see any other messages, right? So someone's beginning a cosmic journey, right? Really tapping into your spirituality. Let me see. These kind of jumped out, but I don't like it when they do that, right? So something else for the collective. Whoever's, starting this sacred journey, right? Any other messages? Any other messages? Hummingbird spirit, joy. Wow, I love this. And Secret Spring, success. So whatever new journey you're starting on, you'll be successful. Maybe it's just to reach higher levels of consciousness, right? And to do it with joy, to do it with, and I like that it's a 22, right? The hummingbird was my very first spirit animal that came to me. And when it came to me, I wasn't aware of all this other stuff, right? So I found out that the hummingbird in, the Aztec culture, right? Mexica culture, they said that when a warrior would die, they would come back as a hummingbird. And the hummingbird could travel between both worlds, right? It was the only bird that was fast enough to be going between both worlds and bringing messages from loved ones and all this and that, right? Or messages from the spirit world, right? Because they could travel so fast, right? But that the warriors, they came back as hummingbirds. And I was doing warrior stuff when this started happening to me. But this was my very first spirit animal that I would notice would appear at the strangest places. So, and I'd always be happy, right? I could be going through whatever dark time and I'll see a hummingbird, and it reminded me of that. There's so many messages and this is an 8-year, right? And the hummingbird, when it flaps its wings, it looks like they're forming the 8 number, right? Which sideways is an infinity symbol as well, right? So it could be connecting to that, you know. Whoever's starting this journey is now connecting to it, and they're reminded to do it gracefully in the way like the hummingbird. But you know, the hummingbird is also a warrior, so don't get it twisted, right? But clearly here in the card, it mentions joy, right? And there's success. You know, success. And just the way it is, right? With the moon and this little lamp, like, oh, secret spring. I was about to say it's very secretive, right? So I was looking just at this. Yeah, so secret spring. It's like almost a journey that you might be taking alone, right? But at the end of it, there's success in whatever you're attaining to do. If it has to do with starting a new path, right? You know, maybe it's telling you to, you don't need to be out there telling people whatever mission you're on, right? But at the end of it, I mean, even just reading this makes me want to just like, okay, you know what? I guess it's time to take a break. So if I'm guided to, if this is the last reading I post for a while, then you know that I'm on this journey as well, right? But that's funny. It's really talking to me. I like this, right? I mean, I feel like I've been connecting so much for these last years that I've already been on this journey. I almost feel like I already came back from this journey. But I really never get tired of it, right? I think they brought me back because I prefer to be in that spirit world rather than here, right? And sometimes it's hard for me to be back here because, you know, I just prefer it on that side, right? But I got stuff to do here. Like even stuff like just sharing, you know, sharing things with people, sharing what I know, that kind of stuff, right? So it's always difficult for me to be here sometimes. So I don't know, right? Maybe they're not really gonna... Okay, so what else? Any other... Because I'm over here talking about myself. Okay. Any other messages for the collective that are going on this journey? Any other messages? I don't know. I feel like that's it. Like, there's really nothing else to say. Okay. Rainbow waterfall. Miracles. So believe in the miracles, right? Don't doubt whatever you're seeing or whatever you're being shown. Like when I first started using this deck, I've never really been one. Like, I know fairies and all that stuff, like, exist, right? I've seen crazy things. Not crazy, right? But I've seen just about anything you could imagine, right? Beings, mystical beings that they call mythological or all this other stuff, right? So I already believe in miracles. But that way, when you start seeing these miracles in this magical place that we call Earth, to believe in them, right? Don't think, oh, it's your mind. Like, whoever I'm connecting with, you're beyond that already, right? You should know better. You should be beyond, oh, people are gonna think I'm crazy, or whoever I'm connecting with is already someone that's on a higher level, higher vibration. You're not worried about this world and what they think. You know what's going on. But maybe you're just starting this journey, right? So maybe, yeah, maybe you still need a little, I guess, bravery, you know. Maybe you still need a little bit to realize that, you know, hey, like, I guess if you're watching this, just know that, yeah, I've been on this path. And, you know, I'm really, or I wouldn't be doing these kind of videos or everything I post on my podcast channel, right? But, yeah, believe in the miracles as they begin happening to you. If there's someone that's new on their journey because you can't deny it anymore, you've been seeing too many things, the miracles, yeah, once they start happening, believe in them, right? I don't know if 31 is significant for you, right? We got 31, 34, 40, and 22. That one's very significant, 22. You know, they call it a master number as well. So I'm going to get one from the Wisdom of the Elders. This is one of my decks that I've been using a lot recently because it is just really spiritual messages, right? Whoa. Well, a ceremonial sacred fire, dedication. So dedicate yourself to this path, right? clearly they're not alone, right? It's a whole group. So maybe you're on that journey to find your soul tribe, right? 16, which adds up to 7, just like what was it? Wasn't there another one? The success adds up to 7 as well, right? So dedication, ceremonial, sacred fire. So maybe you're on your journey to find your little soul tribe, right? Not little, but you know, I mean, realistically, yeah, usually when you're on that journey, it's kind of like at first you just find a few people that you connect with, and then eventually you start finding more, right? But maybe that's the journey you're beginning, right? That'll lead you to finding that soul tribe. Let me see. I'll see if they give me another card. If not, I'll read that one for you, and then we'll close it out. Whoever's starting this beautiful... Wow, this is even deeper, right? Earth's core, sacred fire. Sweat Lodge, rebirth. So they all have to do with ceremonies, right? Look at dedication, beginnings, rebirth. So you could put it in this order. You dedicate yourself to this, right? To this, you know, ceremony. And this card is just beautiful. I want to read this one because I never pulled this one before, right? Earth's core, sacred fire. So this is just deep, right? It's about being in ceremony. And if you want to talk about going within, it's talking about the Earth's core, right? Really connecting. Maybe that's what you're really going to connect with Mother Earth, and you'll see the miracle. You know, this Earth is filled with so much miracles and magic and things you just can't fathom, right? And they're all here, really. It just depends. When you reach certain vibrations, you'll start seeing them. It's like you begin to have access to these things, right? And other people won't. So that's part of the challenge as well. Acknowledging that other people won't be able to see everything that you see, right? I'm going to read this and then I'll close it out. Earth's core, sacred fire, beginnings. So after all this, remember, right? You start entering the passage. So it's pretty beautiful the way it all played out, right? Like, one beginning leads to this whole journey that leads you to a beginning. So I love that, right? It's this beautiful whole journey, right? Passage. Do it with joy, right? Be happy about this new journey you're on. It's like no one's forcing you. You were seeking something, right? You know there's more out there. You were called to it. You felt it. You felt it in your soul, in your gut, in your spirit. You knew. You know, your higher self was probably trying to wake you up, really. So go towards it with joy, right? And obviously it's gonna be a successful journey. Because as long as you learn something, the journey is successful already, right? Believe in the miracles as you start seeing them. You know, begin that ceremony, right? Be in that ceremony. You don't necessarily need to be around all these people. I've done many ceremonies by myself. You know, when I started this journey, right? The Sweat Lodge. You know, if you do have access, then by all means, right? And then at the end, the Earth's core, sacred fire, beginnings, right? Now it begins. Maybe all this is to begin your true life's journey, right? So, beginnings. The minerals and cosmic material that originated in stars long ago continue to live on in the second sacred fire. That is the fire at the core of Mother Earth. It is this fire that creates and sustains life on our planet and is responsible for the Earth's magnetic field. The heat that exists within the second sacred fire contains the life-giving blood of Mother Earth herself, which formed within the planet and created all that we see here today, and which arises in the form of magma and heat. Without this sacred fire at the center of our world, gravity, our atmosphere, and the infinite number of wonderful things that have happened because of its existence would not exist. This lifeblood that emanates into the world is expressed in all that has come into being on our planet. Through it, we see creation in its multitude of medium. Here we can touch the land that was formed, gaze at the tops of mountains, and experience all life on this world. If you have drawn the Earth's core sacred fire card today, you may be giving birth to a new project or beginning a new phase in your life. Now is the time to fully delve into the power of creation, take in all the wonders of Mother Earth, and marvel at your own significance. Breathe creativity into the new opportunities appearing in your life and allow that power to flow through your veins. So that's beautiful, right? So hopefully that gave you some kind of clarity, right? Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Spirit animal, right? We'll end it on this. So maybe this will be, I mean, I feel like the hummingbird was already significant. Maybe that's gonna be the spirit animal. Whenever you see that hummingbird, maybe that's gonna be your little like the little nudge that, hey, you're on the right track, right? So I would say look out for those hummingbirds, right? You know, that was my first spirit animal when I first started connecting. I'm surprised, like sometimes, like I just did an interview. They interviewed me for something, and you know, I'm surprised when people are very disconnected from like the spirit animals, right? Because that's kind of the, if ever there was a cheat code, it's the spirit animals. They're the easiest access. You don't need tarot, you don't need everything else. Like the spirit animals will, they before I ever even knew, decades before I even knew what tarot cards were, the spirit animals were bringing me all the messages I needed to know, right? So, whoa. So, man, that was a lot. But, you know, at the top is the ego spirit. So, I don't know if you're in a place where there's ego, but bam, I don't think anything's clearer than that. Spirit has your back. I think I could leave it with that right there, right? Well, all of these came out, but you know what? I'll just put them out there. Dragonfly spirit. So obviously transformation, right? Look at truth transcends illusions. So again, right? You know the truth, right? Having strength, right? Be generous of spirit. But you know, when you see the lion, it always has this strength to it, right? And the otter spirit, you are never alone. So I like these two, right? And the fact that, you know, it's two otters, right? So it's like spirit. Spirit has your back, otter spirit. I like how it forms a heart if you look at it. So just know that on this journey, you're not going to be alone. As you begin this journey, it sounds like it's a beautiful journey. You know, see, that's the thing about life. Like, I think back on my whole journey, right? That's why we come a lot of times, right? Like, you know, I was born already with certain gifts, but really, it was still the whole journey of as they started unfolding. As they started unfolding, it was a whole journey. It was like my whole own Lord of the Rings experience, right? So whoever is connecting with this and is about to start this journey, enjoy it, right? It's such a beautiful thing to experience when you start seeing all these miracles and synchronicities and things that you can't explain, and your brain's, you're trying to wrap your brain around it. Like, how is this even possible, right? So, you know, like, just acknowledging that even after, you know, all these things that I've seen in life, like, it's so beautiful, right? For anyone starting this journey, it's almost like, yeah, like, I'm not envious of it, but it's like, man, you don't know how lucky you are. That's a better way of putting it. You don't know how lucky you are to be to be starting this journey, right? And so, you know, just like that, I'm sure if you've already started that journey, you're probably about to start a different one. So embrace it and be happy about it. I'm excited for you. Whoever this is for, I mean, I'm excited for myself. It sounds like I might be embarking on a new journey as well. So whoever this is resonating with, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for me as well, because it's resonating with me and it's giving me butterflies, if I'm being honest, right? So with that, I'll end it, and thanks for watching. Peace.